loud salawat. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If we can please settle down, we're going to start our program now. Second salawat for the love of Fatimatu Zahra. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And third salawat in your loudest of voices for the love and the hastening of the reappearance of the Imam of our time. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and families, respected scholars, and supporting businesses. Welcome to the first annual fundraising dinner of Muslim Education Community Center of America. My name is Yusra Shao. I have the privilege of serving as the Director of City of Knowledge Weekend Islamic School at Mecca, and it is my great honor to serve as the Master of Ceremonies tonight. Tonight is an evening of celebration and vision, celebrating what we have accomplished as a community and envisioning the future that we can create together. It's been less than 1 year since the inception of Mecca, and tonight, by the grace of Allah, we are gathered here in the fraternity of 700 supporting friends and families. And for your endless support, we say thank you. Our special thanks to our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors and individuals who have supported tonight's event with buying a table. Their names are appearing on the screens of the PowerPoint and are also on your calendars at the table. Our platinum sponsors are Haj Khalil and Haj Mustafa Saad of Papaya Fruit Market, the Saleh family of Albert's Home Furniture, Dr. Aziza Askari and her team from Dearborn Family Smiles, Comfort Dental Spa, and Livonia Family Smiles. Also, thank you to all the local businesses who have supported Mecca and the religious and nonprofit organizations who are here with us today. Please note their names on the screens and also on your calendars. We have an exciting event planned for you tonight with special presentations, raffle baskets, and a live auction at the end of the dinner. So without further ado, let us begin tonight's celebrations with the recitation of the Holy Quran, for which I would like to invite upon stage Haj Majid Al-Rubai and Sister Fatima Saad in your loudest of salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون قول معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعها أذى والله غني حليم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى كالذي ينفق ماله رئاء الناس ولا يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فمثله كمثل صفوان عليه تراب فأصابه وابل فتركه صلدا لا يقدرون على شيء مما كسبوا والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين صدق الله العلي العظيم الفاتحة مع الصلوات
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The example of those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah is that of a grain that sprouts into 7 ears, each bearing 100 grains. And Allah multiplies the reward even more to whoever He wills, for Allah is all bountiful, all-knowing. Those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah and do not foul their charity with reminders of their generosity or hurtful words, they will get their reward from their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will they grieve. Kind words and forgiveness are better than charity followed by injury, and Allah is self-sufficient, most forbearing. O believers, do not waste your charity with reminders of your generosity or hurtful words, like those who donate their wealth just to show off and do not believe in Allah or the last day. Their example is that of a hard, barren rock covered with a thin layer of soil hit by a strong rain, leaving it just a bare stone. Such people are unable to preserve the reward of their charity. Allah does not guide such disbelieving people. And the example of those who donate their wealth, seeking Allah's pleasure and believing the reward is certain, is that of a garden on a fertile hill. When heavy rain falls, it yields up twice its normal produce. If no heavy rain falls, a drizzle is sufficient. And Allah is all-seeing of what you do. Sadaqallahu al-Ali al-Azim. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you, Hajj Majid and Sister Fatima, for that beautiful recitation. Before we move further with tonight's event, I would like to bring your attention to a few announcements. First, there is a raffle table in the back with beautiful baskets, and the items in there are things like cosmetic and hijab kit, studying kit for students at night, halal date night kit. And so for that, please participate in the raffle, and all proceeds for that will go towards MECCA. There will also be a live auction at the end of the dinner for two beautiful paintings or frames. One is for Ziyarat al-Waritha and the other is for Ziyarah of Sayyida Zainab on her auspicious occasion. So please check them out once they display the frames, and please be here for the live auction, inshallah. And then lastly, there are donation forms and envelopes on your tables. So please fill them out generously throughout the night and hand them to Hajj Hassan and Dr. Wissam, and they will be coming around to collect those. Next, we have a very special presentation from the students of City of Knowledge Weekend Islamic School at MECCA. Right after the inception of MECCA, parents started pouring in requests to have a weekend school close and local to serve our children and youth. And alhamdulillah, within 6 weeks of preparation from our teachers and administration, we were able to launch our own weekend school, which currently serves 80 students, encompassing a curriculum with Islamic studies, Quran, history, and salah. And so our next special presentation from our youth is called Our 12 Imams. Please welcome these students on stage in your loudest of salawat.
The first Imam is Ali, famous for his bravery. He spent his life guiding it to Islam. Salaam alayka ya Imam. The second Imam is Hassan. He is the Prophet's first grandson. He spent his life guiding it to Islam. Salaam alayka ya Imam.
for Du'aul Faraj. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Second, for the reappearance of the Imam of our time, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وإذا وناصرا دليلا وعيا حتى تسكن أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. ثم صلوا على محمد. Let's put a round of applause for the encouragement of these beautiful young souls. Our teachers, students, parents put tireless effort in preparing this presentation, and we are very proud, alhamdulillah, that as a weekend school, we are able to provide a thriving environment for them. Next, I would like to welcome on stage Dr. Naweed Raza to introduce MECCA Board and to give a formal welcome. Dr. Raza serves as the chairman of MECCA. He is an associate professor of otolaryngology, focusing his practice in head and neck cancers at Karmanos Cancer Institute, Wayne State University. He is the former chair of Karmanos Cancer Center's Ethics Committee and current program director for head and neck surgery at Wayne State University. Dr. Raza is also the founding member of several Islamic organizations such as Thaqalain Muslim Association, the Muslim Medical Association of Canada, and the Ithna Ashari Heritage Learning Institute. So please welcome, with a round of applause, Dr. Naweed Raza.
Assalamu alaikum. What an honor and a blessing it is for me to be here in front of you all to welcome you to our first annual dinner and to this new beginning. I've been blessed to be part of the board and to help chair this board and work with really talented individuals. I'd like to introduce them to you and welcome you all on their behalf. And I'd ask for them to kind of identify themselves as I name them so that as you have questions or if you'd like to speak to them about any programs or anything that we're doing, they would be the individuals to address. First, of course, is the spiritual leader of the Muslim Educational Community Center of America, Sayyid Saleh Qazwini. We have Brother Hassan Baidoun. Brother Hassan, right over there. Dr. Wissam Hamoud. There's Dr. Wissam. We have Brother Maysam Somji, right over here. Dr. Aziza Askari. There she is. And Brother Tariq Bazi, right here. So it's been an honor to work with you all, but outside of this board, I mean, just this dinner alone would not have been possible with countless people. Hajja Yumna has put countless hours putting this together with an incredible team. Hajja Yumna, I'd like to personally thank you on behalf of the board and everyone at MECCA for everything you've done here. So can we please recite the loud salawat? But most of all, those I'd like to thank the most are all of you, because this would not be possible without all of your support and all of you coming out here to share in our happiness and in this new beginning. You know, we often refer to MECCA, or I often refer to MECCA as a family. It has a very family feel to it. It's a grassroots kind of organization. And we started off really trying to build a community. And this can only happen with community members such as yourselves. In addition, we have had the pleasure of hosting not just many individuals in the community, but many businesses and organizations, be they charity organizations, Islamic organizations, and we consider you our extended family. Your success is our success, and inshallah we can share in our growth together towards a common vision and goal towards serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and through the guidance of our holy prophet, Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Ahlul Bayt. It's also no coincidence that Allah has brought us together. So I like to share this with you, and we have a small video to share with you to kind of share what our humble beginnings were like, and inshallah we can grow together. So with that, please turn to the screens and we can look at the videos. Salawat.
The story of Mecca began when several concerned parents reached out to me expressing the need for a community center for the followers of the Ahlul Bayt in the Canton and surrounding areas. So we called for a meeting, gathering several families in this area to see what are the potential prospects of having a community center here.
For me, it started with a phone call from Sayyid Saleh, and the ideas started to flow about what do you think of an opportunity to bring something to the Canton area.
I was just very excited about the opportunity. It's been something that we've talked about, at least in my family, since 1998 when we moved to Canton. It's just, we've been harping on, hey, we need something here for us.
We had a positive, productive meeting, and we discussed the needs and the concerns of the families. And there was a lot of excitement and interest. So based on the reaction that we saw, we put our trust in God and we started MECCA.
MECCA means exactly what it stands for. It's a Muslim Educational Community Center. It's a place where people of diverse...
Gentlemen, sorry about the technical difficulties. Inshallah, if we can cue up the video, perhaps we can revisit it at the end of the event. At this point, I would like to invite upon stage the guest speaker for tonight. Attorney Abid Ayoub serves as the National Executive Director of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, the country's largest Arab American civil rights organization. Under his leadership, ADC has supported thousands of legal cases pro bono. He is a graduate of the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law and has worked throughout his career focusing on issues affecting Muslims in the United States. He is committed to ensuring access to social justice for all and is a regular media commentator advocating on behalf of his community. MECCA would like to say a special thank you to Mr. Abid Ayoub for his time and expertise in developing MECCA's bylaws. So please help me welcome on stage with a loud round of applause, Attorney Abid Ayoub.
Assalamu alaikum. Can we get a salawat, please? If the video comes back on, just let me know. I'll cut my remarks, but I'll try to make up some time you're missing from it. But thank you for having me here with you. Thank you to the MECCA team for all you're doing in putting this great event together and this great program together. And thank you, Sayyid, for the work you're doing as well. Without the team at MECCA, without this great initiative and this great program, we wouldn't be gathered here this evening. And it's always good for me to be home, or at least close to home, because home is Dearborn, and this is a bit further than I like, but we're okay with it. But no, in all seriousness, when I do travel to Michigan, I bring my passport, so when I have to visit my sister and her husband and my kids, my nieces and nephews in Canton, I'm able to get there. So thank you for that. I'm glad to be out here. But look, there is no doubt that our community is growing and expanding to new frontiers and new areas and new cities. We are leaving the areas we're used to and leaving our mark in other cities, and that's important. And we are providing, I think the video feed is, we're good? All right. But you are providing an essential need, an essential service to the community. And the fact that the community in Canton is growing is a great thing. And that's why this project and this program is important. I was asked to focus tonight on my remarks and experiences in my journey of how I got to where I am. I don't have enough time to talk about everything. Some of the things that I could talk about will probably get me in trouble with my dad, who's at the table, so we'll skip over all of that. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a period of my life which were very transformative, and a period where it led me into who I am today, helped me in my professional career, and helped me personally. And that period of time were the years in the late 90s, early 2000s that I spent with the YMA, or the Young Muslim Association. Just by clap your hands or raise your hands if you were part of the YMA when you were younger. Just right? I mean, that was kind of like the golden era of Muslim organizations in Dearborn, and it's something we have to carry forward with us. But that period of time provided a unique opportunity to not only grow spiritually, but also and build relationships with many people and develop skills that helped me again carry myself professionally and personally. We can't state enough how important that program was and how important a lot of these youth programs are. And it's great to see many of these young Muslims in this room tonight as parents, the ones that were at the YMA now bringing their children here. I think that's a great thing to say. Can we get a salawat, please? And can we do it one more time, please? I still hear a little talking. Can we go one more time, a little louder? I promise I won't be boring and I won't be long, and we'll be able to chat over dinner. But we are here for a good cause and to do what we can to help this organization grow and flourish. Here's a reality. Here's a harsh reality. I had my speech scripted and things that I wanted to say about growing up, about the journey, and about spending time with folks in these youth groups, right? And that was a great time in the early 90s and 2000s. But the harsh reality is this: we're not in the late 90s and early 2000s anymore. There's a lot of issues young Muslims, particularly young Muslims in this room, that are facing. They're growing up in a country which doesn't favorably view them. And that's a fact. Muslims in this country are not favorably viewed. This is the first generation where they're feeling the brunt of that. And on top of growing up with the issues around religion and growing up as, you know, someone different or somebody that's maybe being bullied, they're growing up on issues we didn't face when we were younger. Drug abuse, depression, screen addiction, other types of addiction, the sexual things that are out there in the public, and a whole different narrative in this country now, which is compiling on top of the issues your children are facing. So it is difficult, and we do have these challenges. But unfortunately, what I've noticed through my work is, and this is not unique to the Muslim community, this is unique to all religious communities. A lot of religious centers, a lot of institutions have not adequately addressed the needs of youth and the needs of different community members. And this is what's leading into a lot of issues we're seeing. But this is what's so unique about this program, about MECCA, and from what I've seen, what Sayyid is doing, what the team is doing. They're providing a service, they're providing something that I have not seen in a long time. And it's very important we support them and we bring them in. I know maybe this, can I get a salawat, please? I'm deaf in one ear, so if I can't hear myself talk, then it's a problem. Look, over the past few months in this election season, there's been a lot of debate on different issues, particularly around Dearborn, around books, sex education curriculums, what's being said in schools, what's being taught in schools. And I swear to you, the only thing I could think to myself when these debates were happening were, are our kids even going into these libraries? Are our kids even checking out books? What are our children doing? What are the young Muslims doing? And how are we protecting them from what's out there? And we don't, as Muslims, need to rely or depend on any public institution or any school or any government to raise our children or to put morals in our children. And if you're depending on the government to raise your children, put morals in your children, keep them away from this material, then you're going to have a problem when they're older. We can guarantee that. But it's up to you, and it's up to centers like this, it's up to this MECCA project to give you the tools you need and to provide the community a service that's needed. You're not going to get this service in public schools, and you're not going to get this service anywhere else. And again, it's very important that we do donate. And it's important that your children are brought up at a time in this, what MECCA will provide is an opportunity to learn, to critically think, and not to fall into the labels that are put out there as like a progressive or a conservative or get caught up in that debate. It's time to just remind them that they're Muslims and teach them their religion and give them the tools they need to succeed in the real world. But there is a lot more I could talk about, and there's a lot that we're facing and a lot we're doing. But again, I want to encourage you all to please support the program. There are these cards on your tables if everybody sees them. Can we get a salawat, please? Another one, salawat. And one more. Thank you. There's these cards on your table. I was told, nobody told me to do this. I'm doing this on my own. Please, through the evening, if you can just pick them up, donate, write a check, scan a little QR code in the corner and make a donation to this program. I can assure you, particularly for those that live in Canton or the Canton area, this is a very important program. The services it's going to offer are not going to be offered by any public institution, any public school, or anybody out there. It's going to be on you to support these types of programs, to support this community, and establish something that is going to not just provide a service, but it's going to invest in your kids' future. So this is an opportunity. This is a great gathering tonight. Hopefully it's the first of many. There are a lot of issues we're facing, but I think together, as a strong community, as one community, we can overcome these. So with that, I finish my remarks, say thank you for all you're doing. Again, everybody, can we get one more salawat before I go down? And please pick up the cards, scan the QR codes, and thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Mr. Ayub, for all the work that you do for the community and for supporting MECCA. I am told that the video is now ready to cue. So if you all are ready to give it another shot, can I get a loud round of salawat, please?
The story of Mecca began when several concerned parents reached out to me expressing the need for a community center for the followers of the Ahlul Bayt in the Canton and surrounding areas. So we called for a meeting, gathering several families in this area to see what are the potential prospects of having a community center here.
For me, it started with a phone call from Sayyid Saleh, and the ideas started to flow about what do you think of an opportunity to bring something to the Canton area. I was just very excited about the opportunity. It's been something that we've talked about.
Next speaker. Our next speaker is in need of no introduction. Sayyid Saleh Qazwini is the founding spiritual leader of Mecca. He attended the Islamic Seminary of Qom, received a bachelor's degree in sociology from University of Michigan, and a master's degree in Near Eastern Studies from Wayne State University. Sayyid Saleh has spent the last 10 years serving the communities of Madison Heights and Toledo, and also speaking internationally. He is also an instructor at the Al-Hujjah Islamic Seminary and is passionate about mentoring the youth and serving the community at large. So please welcome on stage in your loudest of salawat, Sayyid Saleh Qazwini.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. Once again, respected brothers and sisters, scholars, guests, community members, thank you all for joining us and joining the first MECCA fundraising dinner. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here, for showing your support, for dealing with the tech issues that we're having. And I was really hoping we could see this because there was a lot of work put into that, and inshallah, maybe it will work after. Anyways, the most valuable thing that we all hold, my dear brothers and sisters, is not our wealth, it's not the money, it's not the cars, it's not the houses. The most valuable thing for every single individual is your faith and your values. And in a hadith from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, where in the tafsir of this verse, ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ, on the day of judgment, you're going to be asked about the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you. Some of the companions of Imam al-Sadiq, they said, we're going to be asked about the food that we're eating. We're going to be asked about the house that we have. We're going to be asked about the belongings that we own. The Imam alayhi salam, he replied, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is much more generous to give a person food and then ask them for that food. Allah is much more generous to give a person a home and then tell the person, thank me for the home. So they asked the Imam, then what will Allah ask us about? He says, the Imam replied, Allah will ask you about your faith. Allah will ask you about the Quran. Allah will ask you about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi and his holy household. How important, how much priority did you give to your faith? Did you give to your religion? This is what we will be asked about, my dear brothers and sisters. This is the most important investment in life. This is the most important, valuable thing that we will all be questioned about. ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. And as our dear attorney, Abd Ayyub, who has worked so hard with us in establishing MECCA and helping set up the bylaws and doing all of the paperwork, as he mentioned earlier, the challenges that we are facing right now as a Muslim community are very different from the challenges of before. Today, we find an attack on religion. Today, we find it very difficult to hold on to our values. In a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, he says, يَأْتِي عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٌ يَكُونُ الْقَابِضُ فِيهِ عَلَى دِينِهِ كَالْقَابِضِ عَلَى الْجَمْرِ. A time will come for people that the person who's holding on to their faith, it will be as difficult as a person holding on to a burning charcoal. And my dear brothers and sisters, we feel that right now. Maybe I could practice my faith. Maybe I could pray. I don't see a problem praying. But can I guarantee future generations? Can I guarantee that my children and my grandchildren will have this faith? No, my dear brothers and sisters. This is why we should not take our religion, we should not take our Islamic centers, we should not take our values and teachings for granted. There is no guarantee whatsoever that this same teachings that we have right now will be available the next generation and generation down. The only thing is if we do something about it. We have to sow the seed. We have to plant the seeds. My dear brothers and sisters, here we are in the close proximity to the Dearborn community. The roots of the Dearborn community did not start last year or 10 years ago. They started 100 years ago. Because of individuals, because of people that prioritized their faith, they came here and they laid down the foundations of an Islamic community, and this is why we are lucky. This is why we are lucky to be able to practice our faith. But there's no guarantee that this will last. There's no guarantee that this will continue. The challenges that Muslims face today are very different. The challenges that we're seeing today are much different from the challenges the Muslims saw 20 years ago and 30 years ago. Because the way they're coming at the children and the way they're coming at your faith, they're being very creative. And you have to be also very creative in defending your faith and defending your values. And my dear brothers and sisters, when we started MECCA, this is what we had in mind. We wanted to be creative. We wanted to do things differently. We wanted to focus on the younger generation. We wanted to focus on the American-born generation and give them a chance to learn about the religion of Islam and be comfortable as Muslims, not just practicing, not just praying, learning about your faith and be comfortable. When you go to the masjid, when you go to the community center, let that be your safe space. Be comfortable, be proud of who you are, be proud of your religion. And this is something that we need to pass on to the future generations. My dear brothers and sisters, when we started MECCA, alhamdulillah, we started it in a community that did not have an Islamic center in Canton, serving the community in Canton and Plymouth and Northville and the surrounding areas. And what we saw is that we did not just create and help set up a mosque, but we created a community. We brought people together. There were people that I did not know just 1 year ago. 1 year ago, we did not know people. But we came together through these small programs, through the Dua Kumail programs, and then through the Ramadan, and then Muharram. And all of these small programs, we brought people together And we saw that strangers would come in and they would leave as brothers and sisters in faith. And this was something very beautiful to see. There were people that were living next to each other. They've been living 2-3 minutes away from each other, but they didn't know one another. They come to the center, and then they realize that they're living just across the street from one another. And they leave as brothers and sisters in Iman. So we were able to create a community. And this is what Mecca is. It's not just a mosque. It's a community center that focuses on teaching the values of Islam and making whoever comes feel very comfortable with their religion. So my dear brothers and sisters, for that, we are very thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of the blessings that He has given us. And within this last year, we have seen so many blessings. Just 1 year ago, there was no Mecca, there was no community center, there was no gathering, we didn't have anything set up. And now, alhamdulillah, we have a hall filled with 700 people. And this is all from the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. And this is why we have to say, Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. The first thanks and blessings goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who brought us together, who guided us, who paved the path for us. And we thank Allah for us, for this. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to thank the community. We thank people for coming together. We thank people who put countless hours. We thank you all for coming on your Friday night and joining us and supporting us here. We thank the board members who have put hours and hours in conversations and dialogues in running the programs. We thank all of the volunteers who, in all of the programs, they have made our programs successful. We thank the youth of Mecca, who are very integral in every program. In every program, the youth have a role. They have a say, and they are heard, and they are given a platform to speak and voice their opinions. And we also thank specific individuals. One of the individuals that I would like to thank is not here right now, and this is Hajj Najah Bazzi, who helped us set the foundations of Mecca and the bylaws of Mecca. And from the beginning, she would put countless hours of her time in these Zoom meetings and in these sessions, sitting and guiding us and being an advisor for us. And she was supposed to be here today, but her aunt had passed away and she left to be with the family. And we recite Surah Al-Fatiha for her aunt's soul. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Another very dear individual that I would like to thank and acknowledge on a day like this is my dear brother Hassan Baydoun, for everything that he has done ever since the beginning of Mecca. Come here, brother, please. He thought he was going to get away with it. Brother Hassan Baydoun, from the beginning, he was the soldier of Mecca. He's the guy that does everything. He does the talking to people, he's collecting the money. He went and he found us the place, and he's done so much. And we can't thank him enough, and his wife, Hajja Yumna, and his family. Of course, we thank all of the members here, but Brother Hassan has done so much, and we wanted to give him this plaque of appreciation.
Thank you, Sayyid.
Habibi, Allah
Thank you.
yakhallik.
I appreciate
May
it.
Allah bless you. Come
Thank
say a
you,
few
Doc.
words.
No, I'm good.
Say a few words.
No, thank you.
Yalla, yalla.
I'm good, thank you.
Yalla. Brothers and sisters, I don't know if this video is going to work. If it does, then we're going to watch it. And if it doesn't, then dinner is going to be served faster. So it's a win-win situation, inshallah. My dear brothers and sisters, I thank you all We're going to post it on YouTube because it really, we put a lot of time in it, and it's about the story of Mecca and how it started and running the programs. So inshallah you'll be able to watch it, and if it doesn't, we'll send it to you all. Watch it at home. May Allah bless you. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad.
Thank you, Sayed, for your leadership and for your vision of creating an all-encompassing and all-inclusive community. Our final presentation tonight is a special one by our very own youth named MECCA Youth. MECCA Youth functions under the motto of for the youth, by the youth. And this motto is the guiding light for all of their events, including Youth Muharram Majalis, Cookies and Convos, and Brothers FIFA Night. So please welcome, in a loud round of applause, MECCA Youth.
I cannot believe this man beat every single person at the FIFA Brothers Night, both the 2v2 and the 1v1.
The competition was out there crazy, man.
Yeah, but I can't believe that we're able to host these non-traditional programs at our mosque in Canton. Did you say a mosque in Canton? A mosque in Canton. A mosque in Canton?
Yeah, we set a mosque in Canton. It's actually called the Muslim Educational Community Center of America, or MECCA for short.
So you're telling me I don't have to drive 30 minutes anymore just to go to a mosque?
Speaking of driving 30 minutes away, there's papaya right next to the mosque.
Right next door?
Wait, were you guys talking about FIFA game night?
Yeah, that's just one of our many non-traditional programs for the youth, by the youth. Speaking of which, how old are you guys?
We're actually all in high school.
Oh, sweet. I have the programs just for you guys. So you guys are getting ready to choose your next semester courses, as well as study for the SAT, right? Well, we have SAT classes as well as our academic advisory forum at our mosque in Canton.
That's lit, especially since I try to study for SAT myself. I have tons of questions about colleges and school. Man, but what about people like me who have already done their SATs?
I mean, it's okay. You guys are all still young Muslim men growing up in a Western society. I'm sure you guys all have a bunch of Islamic questions that you need answered.
Yeah, but I can just watch that kind of stuff on YouTube.
Well, at MECCA, we're just a little bit different. So we do a lot of interactive programs like youth bonfires and youth snack and chats. Basically, what it entails is you get to come around, you get to have some fun with your brothers in Islam, build a bond over soccer and other activities. And then, like I said, you guys obviously are going to still have Islamic questions. So our beloved scholar, Sayyid Salah, he's more than happy to answer them in a sit-down.
Well, next time I got to bring my questions and my soccer cleats.
You guys, I still cannot believe this is all going on in Canton.
Yeah, but that's not all.
The ice skating event, birthday man Matthew, it's so much fun, especially the family Kahoot. You don't ever see programs like that out there.
That sounds great, but what if you don't know how to ice skate?
Don't worry, man. Our programs help us get out of our comfort zone, help us learn new things. We got you, man.
Oh, guys, we forgot to salam. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Can everyone hear me here? Nice. All right. This was a skit by my brothers here at MECCA Youth, and we just showcased some of the many programs that we did over this past year. All for the youth.
By the youth.
Wait, you guys say a mosque in Canton?
Look at that. So, at this time, I would like to thank all of our youth volunteers over this past year. Thank you. And for those like my brother Ali Hamoud here, right there, who are interested in joining MECCA Youth, see us so that we can navigate you to the QR codes to stay up to date with our ongoing events and to also participate in our programs. If you want to plan a specific program, see us for that. This is our beginning. This is my family. This is MECCA Youth. Thank you.
I will also be defending my FIFA Brothers Night Championship next year, so any newcomers, please feel free to join.
We're just gonna carry. She can carry, yes, just carry.
All right. Alhamdulillah, we are so proud to have such an active youth group, and they have been integral in every single event that MECCA has put together. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, this was the final presentation. However, the night has not yet ended. And before we start dinner, I would like to remind you one more time about the raffle baskets that are in the back. So please take the time to go look at them, what is in the baskets, and put your name in. The winners will be announced at the end of the dinner. And also, Haj Hassan here is setting up the picture frames. The frames first is with Ziyarat al-Waritha and the second with Ziyara of Sayyida Zainab on her auspicious birth. These will be going out for sale with a live auction towards the end of the dinner. So please think about what kind of bids you would like to put. And know that all proceeds go towards finding a new and permanent home for MECCA. At this time, I would like to take the moment to once again thank our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors, along with any families who bought a table, and all of our supporting businesses and nonprofit organizations. Please find their names on the PowerPoint. And once again, our platinum sponsors are Papaya Fruit Market, Albert's Home Furniture, and Dr. Aziza and her team from Dearborn Family Smiles, Comfort Dental Spa, and Livonia Family Smiles. Also to thank Haj Muhammad and Louay from La Roma Banquet Hall, who's hosting us today, and to their team for serving us tonight's dinner. And so with that, inshallah, dinner will be served. Please enjoy your time, and you will see me again shortly on stage to announce the raffle winners. Enjoy.
The story of Mecca began when several concerned parents reached out to me expressing the need for a community center for the followers of the Ahlul Bayt in the Canton and surrounding areas. So we called for a meeting, gathering several families in this area to see what are the potential prospects of having a community center here.
For me, it started with a phone call from Sayyid Saleh, and the ideas started to flow about what do you think of an opportunity to bring something to the Canton area.
I was just very excited about the opportunity. It's been something that we've talked about, at least in my family, since 1998 when we moved to Canton. It's just, we've been harping on, hey, we need something here for us.
We had a positive, productive meeting, and we discussed the needs and the concerns of the families. And there was a lot of excitement and interest. So based on the reaction that we saw, we put our trust in God and we started MECCA.
MECCA means exactly what it stands for. It's a Muslim Educational Community Center. It's a place where people of diverse backgrounds can come together with a common vision and common goal to build a community. It's a non-ethnocentric, meaning a place that caters to the diverse cultural mosaic of our community, for people to come in together and practice their faith and build relationships. So I think that's something that's special, that's offered in the community. It's community-centered, it's family-centered, and it's youth-centered. And it's something that I feel very privileged and blessed to be a part of.
When I moved to Canton a few years ago, I was worried that I won't have much access to an Islamic institution the way I did, because maybe the Muslim or the Shia community was small. And I was concerned that my kids will not have that Islamic upbringing the way I would like them to have. So one day I heard of MECCA having a annual, the first community iftar dinner, and it was during the Night of Power. I attended with my family and I met those beautiful, diverse Muslim families. We broke iftar together, we prayed, we did even A'mal Laylatul Qadr, and I was so like, alhamdulillah, God answered my prayer.
Well, I've lived in Canton for about 23 years, and I've always wished to have a community center for my kids to go to here in Canton. But now that I am part of MECCA, this will be something for my kids to be a part of, as well as having a home for my grandkids to be part of. The ribbon cutting ceremony was very emotional for me. This is something that I've been dreaming about having in Canton and being part of in Canton. And when we finally cut that ribbon, I feel like the accomplishment is there.
I became the part of MECCA family because the first program I attended here was Dua Kamal, and how the program was